After a long decision with my family, I finally figured out where I wanted to go, and I felt like going with Nick Saban would be home for me. Coming in as a second string running back as a freshman isn't bad, and I'm going to be put up to the test, but I laid that boom early on. As you can see, that stiff arm. Very much a Derrick Henry Jr. moment, but as you can see, I take it to the crib early on, and I mean, I was gone. As you can see, Derek Baduki Jr. was running through these defenders all day. He is a dog, but as you can see, coach said you're doing well, and next week you could challenge for that next string. Going into my first game in the Chick-fil-A kickoff against Virginia Tech didn't start off well. I mean, I'm riding the bench, and it doesn't feel good to sit on a bench. I'm going to always root my team on and stay patient, but my time finally came, and I had a jet option, but he didn't hand me that ball off, so I tried to go out and block. As we drive down the field, I get another option, and I get the ball for the first time and almost go for that first down, but I didn't. And I get it again, and as you can see, I hit that sideline on 4th and 1, and oh my God, I about went for 6. As you can see, we end them the old-fashioned way, and I end the game off for 3 carries and 17 yards. Not a so good game. As you can see, coaches gave me another opportunity to move up that depth chart and be running back number 1, and as you can see, I'm going to take advantage of it. I mean, I was breaking tackles early, and I'm going to give you a long day, but as you can see, you have an outside zone, and I bounce it back inside and try to go for 6, but they tackle me, but that won me my position battle. As you can see, going into the next play, I have a screen play. I catch that ball out of that backfield, and I get a burst of speed, and as you can see, I absolutely break one tackle. I run through him and get in that box. So I was just short, but talking to coach after practice, he said, congratulations, you are now the number 1 running back on the depth chart. On to our next game against number 5, 2-0 Texas A&M. As you can see, I get that inside zone early on 2nd and 10 and take it for the first down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 2, it's like I'm like a load to bring down. He is not coming down. Derek Baduki Jr. is a dog. As you can see, he is shushing the crowd having this second carry because he is starting to feel it. But going into the next play on inside zone, he boom over this defender and goes in his zone for his first career touchdown. Going into the next play on 2nd and 6, he's being a key player. He sees the safety comes down and go inside, and he goes outside, and he goes all the way for 6. I mean, 2-in-1 game as a freshman is crazy. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I hit that whole inside zone. I juke, get back outside, and as you can see, I'm just gonna outrun this defender, and I will do so, and I go all the way for another one. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, this defense is having a problem with Derek Baduki Jr. all night. As I hit that outside again, I break one tackle, and as you can see, I keep going, but I finally get tackled. I get up and water outside and tell him look at the back of my jersey, because it will be remembered. As you can see, we're going to win the game, and I have a pretty big ball out game with 23 carries, 277 yards, and 4 total TDs. Going into our next game against 101 Colorado State, as you can see, I had an inside zone. I hit that hold, and I bounced it back outside, and I mean, it was nothing but to outrun everybody, and I was going up that sideline, but then I got tackled. And he is starting off with the juice early on. On 1st and 10, we had an inside zone. I absolutely run through him and drag him for that first down. He is coming with bad intentions. He is not here to play, but on 2nd and 8, I hit that hole. I throw him off of me. I break another tackle, and I hit that right sideline, but then I got brought down. Every run I get is going for 10 to 15 yards. 1st and 10, I break through that middle again on inside zone, and I mean, that hole was so open. As you can see, we are marching down that field. On 1st and 10, I tripped myself up before I went in that end zone. To the next play on 2nd and 1, I get a sweep, and as you can see, I go into that end zone, and I told them boys it's over with. We going to win the game, but as you can see, I end the game off with 25 carries, 221 yards, and 1 rushing TD. To our next game against number 23, 2-1 Ole Miss. As you can see, I have an inside zone, and I hit that hole, and I zigzag back out, and I zigzag back in, and I almost break, but he shoestring me. As you can see, on 3rd and go, we strike early. I push that rock in. Going into the next play on 2nd and 12, it was supposed to be an outside play, but I bounce it back up, and I go get that first down with bad intentions. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, as you can see, we had a jet option, but I break one tackle. Actually, I break another tackle. I hit that sideline, and I will go all the way for 6. And I was fired up. Going into the next play on 2nd and 4, I run into my teammate, but that didn't stop me. I still went and got that first down. They need some help out there. But going into the next play on 4th and 1, big time players make big time plays, and I will lay my head down and lay that boom. But I end the game off for 32 carries, 216 yards, and 4 TDs. Going into our next game against 3-1 Georgia State, we have to come out in 10. So we start off with a stretch on 2nd and 10, and I absolutely run him over. I juke, made a miss, and got up that field, and as you can see, he shoestring tackled me. To the next play on 1st and 10, I have a jet option, and I bounce it out left, and I see nothing but that end zone, and I will go all the way for 6. And I was turned up, but on 3rd and inches, as you can see, I break one tackle, break another tackle. I spent out of that and almost broke, but I got brought down. Derek Baduki Jr. is becoming a problem, but on 3rd and 1, as you can see, he goes in with another touchdown. Going into the next play on 2nd and 3, we run that ball right up that middle, and the DB tried to come down and hit me, but I ran through him. Going into the next play on 2nd and 2, I run that ball up that middle, and Derek Baduki Jr. is searching for another one. He will get what he's looking for. Going into the next play on 1st and goal, he runs that ball right up the gut for another one. To our next game against Kentucky, I juke, get up that field, backfield, and as you can see, I will hit that right sideline and no one is gonna catch Derek Baduki Jr. as he go all the way for 6 early on. I mean, I was absolutely fired up. That is a way to start the game off. Going to the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, he pitched me that ball, and as you can see, Kentucky defense is having a problem with my speed. I am outrunning everybody all day. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I have a jet option and I hit that hole and I'm almost gone, but he shoestrings me before I get loose. Going into the next play on 3rd and 6, as you can see, I'm not only a problem running that ball, but I'm a problem catching that ball out of that backfield as I catch a pretty big gain of 40 yards. And I was fired up. Getting down to that goal line on 1st and goal, as you can see, I bounced it outside and I try to get in, but I was short to the 1. As you can see, I didn't want it enough. But going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I run a route and I dunk on this DB, and as you can see, I will go all the way, but this DB had the right angle on me to bring me down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I run another route out of the backfield, and this time I try to hurdle up, but I almost broke my back. But on 2nd and 2, Derek Baduki Jr. will convert as he go on with a touchdown. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, he comes down and laid it, boom, oh my God, and gets that 1st down. And he was being very relentless, but on 2nd and 4, as you can see, he breaks a tackle, but this defense was rallying that ball and they bring me down. But we're going to win the game, and as you can see, I end the game off a player of the game at 26 carries, 345 yards, and 4 total TDs. Going into our next game against 4-3 Arkansas, we had a counter to start it off with on 2nd down, and I boomed him. I juke, got outside, and I will go. Oh my God, I tried to bounce it back in. I got tackled, but on 1st and 10, as you can see, we had a stretch, but I bounced it back inside, and I am just moving and trying to get to that end zone early on this game. I am not playing. I got up like the man. But going into the next play on 3rd and 6, we had another stretch play, and as you can see, I'm bouncing it outside, and I will go for another 1st down. On 2nd and 6, as you can see, I had a jet option, and I bounced it outside, and it's only one man to beat him. Will I beat him? Yes, I will. I zigzag into him, but I still get shoestring tackled, and they bring me down, and I was frustrated. That wasn't enough. I wanted 6, but going into the next play on 2nd and 10, I run it right up the middle, and I'm just running through defenders all day. Going into the next play on 2nd, as you can see, I hit that hole, and as you can see, I juke, I make a miss, and as you can see, I make another one miss, I make another one miss, and I get up that sideline, and they are not bringing me down. Going into the next play on 3rd and inches, look at the change of the direction that Derek Baduki Jr. has. He will outrun everybody, and he is going all the way for 6. Will be a problem in college football. But going into the next play on 1st and 10 to put the icing on the cake, Derek Baduki Jr. is gone all the way for 6. And I mean, Alabama Crimson Tide has gotten a new running back in town. He is here. With that being said, the freshman Derek Baduki Jr. has broken the school rushing yard record. And we go on to win the game, and I end the game off with 25 carries, 326 yards, and 2 total TDs. Going into our next game against number 14 Tennessee, I gave this defender the meanest stiff arm ever in my career. I mean, he flew so far, but they still tackled me for a tackle for loss. But on 1st and 10, as you can see, I hit that hole, and I mean, I boomed him, and I kept going for that 1st down and more. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I run a sweep, and as you can see, I hit that hole, and I break one tackle, and I bounce it back outside, and I have 1 man to beat, and he would not catch Derek Baduki Jr. as I go on with the touchdown. I told him I want some more, but going into the next play on 1st and 10, I have a stretch play, and I run that ball outside, and I lower my shoulder, and I run him over, and I will run up that sideline, but I finally get brought down. Going into the next play, as you can see, on 3rd and 1, as you can see, I hit that hole and juke. Oh my God, I go in for 6, and I was fired up. He totally made him miss, but do not put Derek Baduki Jr. in bad situations. He will make nothing out of something, as he will take this run all the way to the house. I mean, he is gone, and he loves moments where he think he will be doubted. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I hit that hole, and I break one tackle, and I get back up that field, but then I get tackled. Going into this next play on 2nd and 5, the safety thought I was going to run through him how I usually do, but I outran him with the speed that Derek Baduki Jr. has, and I will take it all the way for 6. So we're going to win the game, and as you can see, I end the game off with 25 carries, 421 yards, and 4 total TDs. I had a ball-out game. Going into our next game against 4-5 LSU, I mean, we started off on 2nd and 1. I ran that ball for that 1st down. I break one tackle, and that team is coming. They are rallying that ball. It isn't going to stop Derek Baduki Jr., but as you can see, I run that ball and run right around the defender, and I try to run through him, but he still brings me down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 5, as you can see, I catch that ball out of that backfield. I juke and get up that field, but they bring me down again. I almost got back up, but going into the next play on 2nd and 7, as you can see, Derek Baduki Jr. route running is just amazing. I mean, he is losing these linebackers and cornerbacks. But going into the next play on 1st and 10. As you see, I have an inside zone. I hit that hole. I break one tackle, but that defense is rallying that ball. And I mean, that's something that Derek Baduki Jr. has to do. I mean, we have not been down this season, and I almost break loose, but my teammates get in my way. Going into the next play on 2nd and 10, we have a counter play, and I hit that outside, and Derek Baduki Jr. is almost gone. And will he go? But he gets brought down. He will be the game changer of this game. But going into the next play on 1st and goal, as you can see, he punches the ball in for the touchdown. That wasn't enough. LSU still goes on to win the game. I end the game off with 24 carries, 164 yards, and 1 rushing TD. Going into our next game against number 9-0 Mississippi State. I mean, it started off a little shaky. I didn't even catch the ball that the quarterback threw to me. But on 3rd and 6, I get a run right up the middle, and I mean, I am striking early, and I'm putting my head down and trying to truck everybody. Just after having a good run on 2nd and 13, this D lineman shedded a block and hit me as soon as I got the ball. 7, as you can see, I'm trying to make a game-changing play. I hit that hole and almost bounce it outside and almost take it for 6, but I get brought down. Going into the next play on 2nd and 3rd, as you can see, he was throwing the ball to my teammate, but I caught it for him and got boomed, and that was my fault for catching it. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I'm going to make up for it, and I'm going to catch that ball again, and I actually run through him, but he brings me down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I bump into my alignment, but then I juke and get up that field with bad intentions, and Derek Baduki Jr. will go all the way, but this DB had the right angle on me. They tackled me at the 1. Going into the next play on 2nd and 5, as you can see, I try to break it up the field, but they bring me down. And I'm going to stay relentless all night. On 2nd and 6, as you can see, I hit that hole and I run right through him. I flat ironed him. We're going to win the game, and I end the game off with 24 carries and 177 yards and 0 rushing TDs. Going into our next game against FCSEs, I mean, some bums. We started off intense early on. I told the quarterback to throw it up on 4th down, and I dunked on him, broke a tackle, and was going for yards. I turned up early on. As you can see, we drove down that field, and on 1st and goal, I had a stretch play, and I ran that ball way to the outside and took it in for 6. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I had a counter play, and as you can see, I run him over, and I am gone all the way. I break another tackle and break another tackle for 6. I mean, Derek Baduki Jr. is running that ball hard all day on 1st and 10. As you can see, he gets another 1st down, and he is staying relentless. But on 2nd and 7, he has an inside zone, and he hits that hole for another 1st down. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I run that ball straight up that middle. I run him over into the end zone. I mean, it's 21-0 before the halftime, but as you can see on 1st and 10, I'm putting an icing on the cake early on, and I am breaking for another touchdown. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I catch that ball out of that backfoot. I juke, make a miss, and I get up that field with bad intentions for a 21-yard gain. Going into the next play on 3rd and 5, as you can see, I catch the ball out of that backfield again, and I trip myself up, and I was going to go for 6. To put the icing on the cake on 2nd and 1, as you can see, I juke into that end zone for 6, and we will go on to win the game. Going into our next game against 8-3, number 14 Auburn. I mean, it started off intense. I started off with a counter play and ran through this DB on 1st down. To the next play on 1st and 10, as you can see, I juke back outside, and oh my God, I made him miss, and I will go for 6. Going into the next play on 2nd and 1, as you can see, I had a jet option, and I hit that left sideline, and oh my God, all I see is that end zone, and I will go all the way for 6, and I dive in the end zone, and I was fired up on my teammate. As you can see, going into the next play on 2nd and 15, I'm just searching for that 1st down every time I touch that ball. To the next play on 1st and goal, as you can see, I zigzag and run a route, and I go in with a touchdown. And this is why I'm so special. I could catch that ball out of the backfield again on 1st and 10, and I juke made a miss and break another tackle, and I will go for 6. Going into the next play on 3rd and 1, as you can see, I had a stretch. I bounced it back right side, and as you can see, I was short for that 1st down. As you can see, we're going to win the game, and I get player of the game with 34 carries, 294 yards, and 2 total TDs. Into the conference championship game against 12-0 Georgia. This is the time to shock the world and show them who I am. So I start off early on 1st and 10 with a pretty big run. I got up and told him I wanted to contact all night, but going into the next play on 2nd and 8, as you can see, this DB came down hard and tackled me for a loss. Going into the next play on 3rd and 10, as you see, I catch the ball at the backfield. I juke, but I try to get up that field, but look how many Georgia Bulldog heads get to that ball. Going into the next play on 1st and 10, I break one tackle on the backfield. I juke out of it, and I am almost gone, but a pretty big 19-yard gain. And things are starting to pick up, but on 1st and 10, I get the ball again, and I bounce it back outside and go get another 1st down, but they bring me down. Going into our next play on 3rd and 10, as you see, I bounce it outside. I juke, he didn't go anywhere. I put my head down and trip forward, and I got some yards. Going into our next play on 3rd and goal, as you can see, I bounce it all the way outside, and he pushes me into the end zone for the touchdown. touchdown. I told them boys, I want this too much. I want this too much. Going into the next play on 4th and 6, big time players make big time plays when it's needed, and I go and get the first down for my team. Going into the next play on 2nd and 6, I have an inside zone, and I hit those holes, and I jump up, and he picks me up and drops me down on the 1 yard line. First and goal, as you can see, he punches that ball in. And I mean, this is just amazing, man. It's something that you've always prayed for. We have won the conference championship. Now we are going to that national championship to win. And I mean, those Georgia Bulldogs fought hard, but they didn't fight hard enough. With that being said, Derek Baduki Jr. has won the Heisman his freshman year. He has also won the Robert Maxwell Award, and he has also won the Walter Camp Award, and he has won another award, the Doak Walker Award. Going into our next game against 12-1 number 1 Ohio State. It started off a little intense, but that defense was rallying that ball, but I still got that first down to start the game off early. This right here is the national championship, so I'm going out with a bang on 1st and 10. I'm giving it all I got to get to that first down marker every time I touch the ball. On to the next play on 2nd and 4, I have a power O play. I bounce it out outside, and as you can see, I break a tackle, and he stops me from progress. On to the next play on 30 inches, I want it all. I run it right up the middle, and I didn't get in that end zone, so I say, hold on, run that play back. I gotta get in this end zone. So we know huddle it, and the quarterback gets on that ball, and you know who he's gonna give it to. Derek Baduki Jr. goes in with the touchdown early. Look how elusive he is on 2nd and 10 as he juke, he trips himself up, catches himself, breaks a tackle, and almost go. He run through him and made him look crazy. This what makes him so special. On 2nd and 3, he catches the ball at the backfield, laid the boom on him, and he kept going, and as you can see, getting up that sideline, he breaks another tackle, and they finally bring him down. It's 21-21, and I need to make some shake. So on 1st and 10, you know I'm gonna get that ball, and I get a first down every time I touch it, but they bring me down. As you can see, going into this next play, we need our kicker, and he delivers for us to take us up 3. To put the icing on the cake, I have a stretch. I break one tackle, bounce it back inside, and make him miss and get in that end zone for a touchdown to end the game, and we are nationally champions. That is amazing feeling, man. But as you can see, I ended the game off with 27 carries, 257 yards, and 3 rushing TDs. As you can see, this is the end of Derek Baduki Jr. first year of college football. And drop a comment down below. Do you think he will stay with Alabama, or should he stay with Alabama, or will he transfer?